Hi there, my name is Holt Skinner and I'm a developer advocate for Google Cloud AI. AI agents are incredibly powerful, and there's an enormous amount of tools to make them. You can build out a cool demo in just minutes, but moving that agent into production is a lot more challenging. Scaling to millions of users while maintaining low latency, security, and consistent performance is where many projects can struggle. Today, we're looking at Gemini Enterprise for Customer Experience, or GECX. It's a unified platform designed specifically to bridge that gap between prototype and enterprise-grade development. If you've worked with Google Cloud's conversational tools before, like Dialogflow, Contact Center AI, or Customer Engagement Suite, GECX is the next generation of these tools. It takes the proven concepts and rebuilds them for a generative AI-first workflow. Google has multiple products called Gemini Enterprise. To clarify the distinction, Gemini Enterprise is an agentic platform built for internal employee use, allowing you to deploy agents that work across your company's private data and internal workflows. In contrast, Gemini Enterprise for Customer Experience, GECX, is specifically designed for external-facing agents, unifying search, commerce, and service into a seamless journey for your customers. Most of the existing frameworks that developers can use to build these types of experiences provide a ton of control and flexibility, but that can come at a cost. There's a lot of hidden work in building agents: prompt engineering, preventing prompt injection, building evaluation pipelines, and managing infrastructure. GECX abstracts that complexity, providing a managed environment with enterprise-grade security and scalability baked in. Gemini Enterprise CX consists of a few main components: pre-built commerce agents, which are turnkey solutions for common flows like retail or food ordering; CX Agent Studio, which is the core development environment where you build and refine your agents; Agent Assist, which are tools that provide real-time AI guidance for human support reps; and Vertex AI Search, a managed service for building high-quality, RAG-capable search engines. You can check the description for videos focused on pre-built agents and Vertex AI Search. So let's focus on CX Agent Studio. This isn't just a no-code agent building UI. It's a platform built on top of Agent Development Kit, Google's open-source AI agent framework, which means that you get the benefits of abstraction and pre-built boilerplate without being locked into a black box. The CX Agent Studio console handles the full developer lifecycle. You have design and development, so you can use Gemini directly in the console to help architect your flows. Multi-user collaboration, think of Google Docs but for agent logic. Evaluation and monitoring, which are built-in tools to test performance before you go to production. And deployment, your agent ends up running on Google managed infrastructure, so you don't have to worry about scaling the underlying compute. For integration, you have options. There's a library of pre-built connectors, plus full support for Model Context Protocol, MCP. You can set up Python callbacks and specific tool runtimes for processes that require strict code-defined logic. GECX supports bidirectional streaming voice via Gemini native audio models. Your agent can actually listen and speak with low latency multimodal inputs, and it can take in images. And if you prefer your IDE over a browser, there's a hosted MCP server. You can connect it to your local environment and use tools like Anti-Gravity, Gemini CLI, or Claude Code to build and manage your agents entirely through code. You can also use the Google Cloud Client libraries to create and manage agents. We'll dive into the CX Agent Studio console using a sample agent. This specific agent follows the reference architecture demoed at the Google Cloud Next 2025 keynote by product manager Patrick Marlowe. You can watch the user experience of this agent at goo.goal/gecx-demo. Google Cloud users can access the CX Agent Studio console at ces.cloud.google.com, and you can read all the documentation at the links in the description. This is the CX Agent Studio console. It was designed to be robust, yet streamlined and easy to use. Once you select a project, you can click on Try out a sample agent. On the build screen, you'll see our architecture. Instead of one massive prompt, we use a multi-agent approach for better separation of concerns. We have a top-level retail agent, an upsell agent, and an out-of-scope handler. Each has its own instructions, specific model configurations, and tool sets. Let's look at the simple retail agent instructions. We use programmatic instruction following, or PIF, which utilizes XML tags to structure the prompt. This makes it easier for the LLM to parse logic and tool references. If you have a raw prompt, the magic wand button will automatically refactor it into this recommended PIF format. Click on the toolbox icon to see the agent's capabilities. For example, the greeting tool isn't just text, it's a sequence. It calls a CRM service to pull the customer's cart and name from the context. By By nesting tools like this, we ensure that the agent's behavior remains deterministic and consistent, rather than relying purely on generative randomness. In the Preview Agent panel, you can test via text, image, or audio. But for developers, the real value is the diagnostic info. You can step through every execution step, inspect variable values, and see the exact latency for tool calls. If a tool like the CRM service returns a specific payload, you'll see the raw JSON output right here. If we inspect the CRM tool's configuration, you'll see that it's built on an open API schema. Each endpoint functions as a distinct tool. This particular example points to a live server on Google Cloud Run, demonstrating how you can connect your agent to existing production servers. We also have a Get Product Recommendations tool. This is a multi-step chained workflow. It uses the built-in Google Search tool to query the USDA plant database, then passes that data to the CRM for a personalized recommendation. This allows the agent to identify a plant from an image, like this petunia, and provide specific soil and fertilizer advice in one turn. Okay, we've tested some happy paths for this agent, but let's see how this agent can handle irrelevant or malicious input. I'll try asking about something completely unrelated to gardening to see what it does. And here we go. This hit the out-of-scope handling agent, which for this demo is designed to give more information about what this specific sample agent can do. But what about malicious or prompt injection inputs? Let's try it out. Okay, it seems like the agent handled it pretty well, but how does it do that? For production-grade security, click on the shield icon to access guardrails. Within guardrails, we have the prompt guard, which provides built-in protection against injection attacks. You can configure it to trigger a specific refusal, transfer to a human agent, or generate a safe response. There's also block lists. You can define specific keywords or regex patterns to filter both user inputs and agent outputs. There's safety filters, which handle responsible AI requirements, like filtering hate speech or harassment. And there's custom rules. You can write your own logic that runs alongside every prompt. This particular agent includes a French fries policy to detect if the model begins behaving erratically or veering off task. All of these guardrails run in the background, so you don't have to set it up on every single subagent or prompt that you write. You can access global settings by clicking on the gear icon. These global settings apply to the entire system. Here, you can manage the default model, language, and text-to-speech voice. For telephony use cases, you can enable barge-in, which allows users to interrupt the agent, DTMF, which is keypad input support, and sensitive data redaction. The Evaluation tab is where you evaluate performance. You can use two different types of test cases. You have golden cases, which are hard-coded ground truth scenarios to ensure the agent follows a specific path every time. This is similar to a regression test. And there's dynamic scenarios, which are LLM-generated tests that run through a variety of scenarios to find new ways to test the agent. These can also be converted into golden cases. Each evaluation checks for task completion, user goal met, and hallucinations. If a test fails, the system provides an LLM-generated description explaining exactly why it didn't meet expectations. For post-deployment monitoring, Conversational Insights provides full logs and AI quality scores for every agent interaction. You can access this by going to the Preview Agent window, click on Conversation History, and go to Insights. You can learn more about CX Agent Insights at the documentation linked in the description. When you're ready to go live, the Deployments page handles distribution channels. This includes a web widget, which is a pre-built embeddable chat interface, telephony, which includes direct connections for Twilio, Google Telephony, or Google's Contact Center as a Service platform. And there's an API connection, which allows you to call the agent via REST or client libraries to build your own custom front end. Okay, that's a high-level look at CX Agent Studio. It's built to give you the speed and support of a low-code tool with the control of a full development environment. Check the documentation for the quick start guides to start building your own.